Subdivision plan application for Ridgewood Heights Section 5. It's a revised 22-lot subdivision.
Hi, good evening. Kim Gales from J.R. Gales and Associates. This plan was approved back in the mid-2000s, 2005. It had 25 lots at that time. The zoning has changed since then, and it never moved forward with the market. And it had 25 lots back at that time. We've reduced it to 22 lots. The lots will be located off of Ridgewood Road. And the building line went from 50 feet to 30 feet. And the lot area is about a little bit bigger. They're all over half an acre. Stormwater detention pond will be at the low area of the site. The sanitary sewers. There will be 9 lots that will be pumped individually to the existing sewers located on both ends of Ridgewood Drive. The developers are here for me, the Bryans, if the board has any questions.
Dan, do you have any comments?
I'll just highlight the applicant did respond back to all of our comments from the Planning Commission meeting. There was a request for modification to install sidewalks in this plan. They noted that the nearest sidewalk to this development is approximately a mile away. So they are not proposing to install sidewalks, and would need a modification for the board for that. I had a couple other minor comments, which included we need a cost estimate and a developer's agreement and approval from of the NPDS permit. So that's all included in my April 3rd, 2015 letter, and I would recommend be included as a part of any motion. And I believe Bruce also has comments on this one.
Yes, just to I'd be providing this to the fire department for hydrant location, and as well as traffic and regulatory signs were shown on the plan, but they still have to be finalized by our traffic consultant. That's all I have.
Any questions for Dan on, they're asking for a departure for sidewalk requirements? I think all our R2 and R3 plans require sidewalks in them. R1 it was more open for departures because they're bigger lots, they're more spread out. I think our Ridgewood Heights is the only R1, active R1 plan in the township, so I guess that's why they're asking that. And I would point out that I have no interest in this company. I'm not a part of the company. I live in Ridgewood Heights. This is the section that Mr. Bryan is doing with his partners, if his partners or not.
Can I ask why you don't want to install sidewalks?
There are currently no sidewalks in any phases of Ridgewood
But
Heights.
this isn't, I mean, correct me if I'm wrong, this isn't right up against the current.
Yeah, it's just a situation. Ridgewood Heights, you know, this drive, Ridgewood Drive is just, that's all Ridgewood Drive, most of the land.
This is already,
Drive.
these houses are built.
Yeah.
These
Rosewood, the Ridgewood comes up,
up and back.
makes a circle, and goes back down. So you, once the roads are put in, it'll look like it's.
Yeah, this is the road that's actually going to be extended. They both ended, it ends right now here and here, and Rosewood is built with homes all along these lots. So we'll be connecting this road and building a small cul-de-sac here.
Dan, up here on 3rd, I think it's, what is that, Glenwood Circle? I think I'm trying to see that. Is there room for snow removal up there for the trucks and stuff, and for Bill to be able to take care of
Yeah,
that?
these are pretty wide lots that the cul-de-sac.
Just to be sure that our public works can handle keeping the roads clear up there.
Yeah, they're at least 50 feet, and I think that, there'll be plenty of room. There'll be plenty of room with there's only 3 lots or 4 lots around the cul-de-sac, so.
These roads will be dedicated to the township when it's built, correct?
Correct.
So we will have the snow removal responsibility.
I think, Dan, we've always had an area designated so that our road department knows where it's at, and as a buyer comes in, they know that that's part of the that's the way it has to be for our road department.
Yeah, and they have situated houses on one of the plans, but they haven't shown driveway locations. So maybe if the board would you guys be amenable to adding an easement for snow removal? At some point, it makes sense, just so we notify the buyers.
Yeah, and we have made the 35-foot building line, the area between that and the right-of-way, an easement for utilities, storm, and sanitary. So there is a full easement that will encompass.
Oh, that is a full easement?
Yes.
So maybe we can just add for snow removal on there too?
Could do that on the recorded line, yes.
I have a question. Brett, or you, whoever can answer. How many of these lots are already developed?
Well,
How many have houses on them?
oh, none.
None. None, so this whole plan?
22 lots.
Pardon me?
22 lots.
One, two, okay.
Lots 17 and 18 were, and 16 were able to be sold, but we took those and revised the whole plan up through there. Because they were already available to be sold. They have sewage and all the utilities that are already through those. And we took those off the market and just added it to this plan.
And that, did you say and added into this?
Yeah, we just combined it with the rest of the plan.
Thank you.
Dan, could you repeat the list for somebody who might want to make a motion on your?
Sure. My April 3rd letter, if you just reference my April 3rd letter, it includes the requested modification for sidewalks. So, and then a cost estimate and developers agreement, approval of the MPDS permit, and any additional comments, which we heard a comment to modify the easement, 35-foot easement around the cul-de-sac to be included for snow removal.
And Bruce, what was that? Just the hydrants.
The hydrant approval and the regulatory signs, such as stop signs and street signs.
There are motions that affect to approve this plan.
I'll make that motion.
I'll second it.
It's been moved and seconded. Those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye, the motion carries.
Thank you very much.
For 070-2015, it's a subdivision plan application number 2015-004, the pasture plan lots on Depaoli Road. The applicant's here, but Dan, I know you had a...
Yeah. We've reviewed this plan. It's a simple subdivision where we're actually modifying a lot line to take two lots, make them two lots. But the minor hiccup on this that happened last week was that we found out from the Washington County Sewage Authority and from the DEP that they're still going to need a planning module on the subdivision, although new lots are not being created. We did have them put a note on the plan to give notice that they would have to comply with those issues. But I think just to simplify this for the owner tonight, they are moving on the planning module already. I spoke to them this afternoon. I just recommend that you consider approving this contingent upon the planning module being submitted and approved. And then just won't have it signed until that occurs, rather than bringing it back tonight. But that's up to the board. This is up off the Depaoli Road. These are big lots, 4.2 acres and 3.8 acres is the other lot. There's already an existing house on one of the lots. This is creating, it's not really creating, but it's formalizing a new building lot, lot 401. So they just need to make sure that they have adequate on-lot sewage for that lot before the plan is signed.
The prior boards, in the past, the boards have approved plans, ongoing plans, contingent on things that are kind of out of the control of the developer, like waiting for an application for DEP or something, or PennDOT. Our assurance that the plan would get the planning module submitted and approved, that if we approve it, it's approved on a condition, so it won't be signed, it won't be handed out until the developer gets those things according to Dan's letter, the third. So it's a new board now. The board has that prerogative to decide you don't want to, you're not going to approve things contingent on anything, or you can be, you can consider the request that's being asked for the contingency and then make your own decision. So that's what I think is the first application right there. We're going to do just strictly on a contingent on an item that's kind of out of the applicant's control. That's a simple subdivision. So what's the pleasure of the board?
I don't see a problem as long as all the contingencies and all the stuff that has been brought up is met before.
Well, it's not stuff, I think.
I mean, everything that's done, it needs to be done, the DEP permit, every permit.
Yeah, that's the only item, it's only one item.
So it's just a planning one.
That's correct.
I have no problem approving it, contingent upon it.
I make the motion that we approve the pre-subdivision patch plan lots 4 contingent on the planning module approval.
I'll second it.
It's been moved and seconded. Those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
The motion carries.